Hi everybody. I wanted to talk about one of the clicker quiz questions today to make sure everyone was okay with the idea of assigning which molecules in a chemical reaction are conjugate acid-base pairs. Here's our reaction. It shows the weak base, the carbonate ion, reacting with water and turning into HCO3- and OH-. When you look at a reaction like this, we're just looking for where the H leaves and where it goes to. Whoever takes the H is the base, and whoever loses the H is the acid. That makes it pretty easy to identify on the left-hand side of the reaction who's the base and who's the acid. You have to look at both sides of the reaction to get context. Which of the following is a conjugate acid-base pair from the reaction? That involves selecting one molecule from each side of the arrows. So I'm not asking for you to identify who's the acid and who's the base on the left-hand side. I want you to identify who across the arrows are related. Remember, we did this when looking at NH3 and water when we first learned about conjugate acids and bases. If we do the same thing of identifying who's the base and who's the acid, we look for who took the H and who gave up the H. NH3 took the H from water. That helps us identify who's the base and who's the acid. Now, to find the conjugate acid-base pair, we have to look across the arrows. Select one from the left-hand side and one from the right-hand side. You're looking for selections that only change by one H. So NH4+ is our conjugate acid, OH- is our conjugate base. You can look at them together as a conjugate acid-base pair. You can see that we're picking members of the pair from either side of the arrow. So NH3 and NH4+ are a conjugate acid-base pair, and water and OH- are a conjugate acid-base pair. We're not assigning who the acid and base are, we're just using that as nomenclature. Going back to our quiz question, we can do the same thing with CO3- and water. CO3- was the base, it turned into a conjugate acid, it switched roles. Water was the acid, it turned into a conjugate base. That's what makes our answer B the right answer. Okay, so answer B is the right answer because we're using, let me get a cursor here, we're using CO3- as our base and HCO3- is the conjugate acid. These guys are a pair. See how everybody else in the list differ by more than one H? This guy and this guy are way too different to be a conjugate acid-base pair, and the same goes for the remaining molecules that were given as choices. Take care.